Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of me trying to figure out what any of this code I wrote even does. And today, I have a very important and super serious announcement to make. We finished the bug list! Woo! I mean, to be honest, it wasn't even that much. I mean, there was like 2 things on there, and I had a week. But I don't even care. I don't even care right now. I'm even mistyping this script. That's how much I don't care right now. Of course, the bug fix wasn't all I did, because I did manage to push out part of a feature that I was working on. But let's first go over how I fixed the bugs I was having, because one of them was especially tricky. So, starting with a tricky bug, for later transition purposes, is the health bug. Now, in the last video, I had mentioned that I thought it was caused by the damage being multiplied, but boy was I off, because it ended up being the combination of 2 other errors, one of which I found myself, and another I had to get help for. To save you all some time, and a lot of print statements later, I found that one part of the error was that my player was constantly getting hit, which ended up being caused by me forgetting to change my player's hurtbox layer when I was changing all my other layers in the last video. So my hurtbox layer, which would cause me to take damage whenever a character body was inside the area, was on the same layer that my player was on. So my player was constantly taking damage because a character body, aka my player, was always in range. But wait a minute. If that was the only error, wouldn't I be dying incredibly fast because I was always taking damage? Well, not exactly. Because there was a second problem that was later found by removing the delta modifier on my damage calculation, which, if you're wondering, turning that off made it so that I took damage every frame instead of every second. So, that should make it so that I instantly get one shot, right? But instead, I found that sometimes, if I was able to kill the enemy hitting me before I would get one shot, I would get healed back to full. Which, as much as I would love to claim that this was a power-up for the game that I was working on, it was not. It ended up being because of the line that sets my health bar's health to my health, which was 100. So, this entire error was caused by my constantly increasing damage and my constantly refilling health bar, duking it out to see how long the health bar could last before the damage finally caught up. Fortunately for me, with the hurt box on the correct layer and my health bar setup code now on its own non-repeating function, we have a working health bar and damage. But wait a minute. What are these little dollar store Minecraft XP particles, you might be asking yourself? And that brings me to the final bug on my bug list, the XP dropper. Now I know it's been a minute since I last did this, but I learned how to make this XP dropping system from this video that will be linked in the description. So if you want to see a more in-depth guide on how it's made, or if you want to make it yourself, go check out that video. Anyway, how the system works is by using 2 areas on our player. The first, larger area, will serve as the range in where the XP will start to move towards us, aka the grab area, and the smaller collection area, where the XP will be deleted. Later we will add something there that tracks the XP collected, but I didn't get to it this week. How the XP itself works is it essentially spawns in with nothing. No hopes, no dreams, and most importantly, no target to move towards. But that's where we come in. When our player comes into range, or more specifically, our grab area comes into range, which we will know by the grab area entered signal, we then set the target to ourselves, so that the XP now at least has something to move towards. And we also set it up so that it goes faster for the longer it's moving towards us, so we don't have to worry about outrunning it. Small side note here, the problem I was having with this, and the entire reason it was on the bug list in the first place, was because there was originally a parameter here that checked if the object that entered the area was in the loot group, which was the name of the 4th layer in the video I followed. But I probably made an error somewhere and couldn't get it to work, so I ended up just removing that parameter, with the thought process being that the only things that are going to be in layer 4 are pickups anyway, so it doesn't really matter what group it's in. Will this create problems down the line? Probably. But for now, it works. So with the XP particles now moving toward the player, all we have to do is remove it when it reaches the player, which is where the collect area comes in, which just tells the XP to initiate the collect function, which for right now just makes it disappear for a second and then it deletes itself. And with that, we have XP that we can actually collect. The last thing I did this week was setting it up so that the XP spawns on enemy death, which was really easy because I had already set up the system weeks ago, and I only had to plug in the EXP scene and switch the name of some of the variables, and wow. I know that not that much was added, but it actually feels like I'm playing a whole different game now. I am actually really excited to play this game when it's finally finished, and I'm the one making it. This week, I'm going to try and implement some UI, like a game over screen and a reset button so that I don't have to relaunch the game every time I want to test something. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to get in this, but I really want to try and figure out the leveling and then make some basic upgrades that you can choose from when you level up. It's probably a bit ambitious considering that I've never worked with UI before, but I'll try my best. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next Monday.